Welcome back to the channel. Hey guys, it's Jason with your Hopium Free Crypto channel. We are in for a good show. We got a good show coming on. All right, we've got a lot of stocks. Where am I at? Cryptocurrencies. Cryptos have gone ballistic. We're looking at this last night. We looked at it on Twitter for some potential lows for Bitcoin, because if you've been following the channel, that we are only looking at Bitcoin as a purchase. Altcoins have been off the cards for many weeks now. I don't know who everyone is following, and so if you're getting different advice about buying the dip on altcoins and buying this and buying that, I can't help you. All I would say is really check who you're following and what it is. What is the background? What is the plan? What is all that sort of stuff? I'm just watching your comments come in as we are going live. I saw some people wanting to go watch Coin Bureau. Fantastic channel. I don't know if he goes live. I don't think he does. I think he loves his set videos. So, here we are. Good stuff. G'day, Iceland. Wow. That must be late for you guys. So yeah, where are you guys calling in from? What is the biggest concerns for you? Today we're going to look at, of course, the crypto fear and greed index, get together our, it's our plan, but we are testing it out along this way as well. I hope you guys have seen how decent it's been. It's kept us in the game, buying lows and not getting caught up buying the highs. And yes, we've talked about it many times before that this is not a complete plan, but it's something that can be worked on and stemmed forward. So yes, we got the fear and greed at 10. That's looking pretty good today. That's definitely a buy on our plan. So yeah, we've got the crypto fear and greed index. We're going to look at the other cryptos. We're going to look at the altcoins. There are a lot just bleeding out against their Bitcoin value. I guess it was one thing that was triggering me a lot over crypto YouTube, is just seeing people go, altcoin season's coming in July, altcoin season is here again, or buy the altcoin dips, and all of this sort of nonsense about the market's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's like we've been talking about not buying altcoins for a couple of months now, especially from those tops when in May everyone was looking for a 70K Bitcoin, an 80K Bitcoin, freaking garbage. And so I was just looking at Bitcoin at lows, and we were looking at around that 46K low, and that came and then absolutely got crushed. And now we're at all of the 30s, and the 30s are really starting to build up. And I think we'll get some high 20s, but this is the whole point about having a plan. You're never going to buy the exact bottom. George is in the house. Sell it all. I think that's what happens on the Cryptos Are Us. Sell it all. No, I'm joking. Of course. There are a lot of motherfuckers around. Hopefully that doesn't. I just saw one up here. Let me get back to your comment in a sec. A lot of motherfuckers. Yeah, that's what I was looking at there. So when are the Gold Coast Lambos coming through? Well, we looked at the news the other day. The Lambo factory is almost sold out for 2021. Doesn't matter. We have to wait for the market to kick up again. But this is the Lambo time. This was like buying at those lows through 2018, 2019, and of course 2020. Again, I'm still of the view that I don't think we're going to be a 3-year bear market. It's sort of getting to the point where you almost feel like you're disillusioned by continuing to say that. But there's something that I can't put my hand on, and as time progresses and I become a better investor, I'll be able to figure that out in more detail. But it seems like there's something that's not quite right to be a 3-year bear market. Like I've talked about, I thought below the highs when we were around April, when we had the 3 days down, it's on the channel, you can have all your receipts. We called 3 days down, thought this is a first sign. I can't call a top, but it was a first sign. And that was when 18th of April, when I'm saying, all right, I'm not keen on altcoins. We had the dip. Everyone's going nuts about altcoins. Let's do another altcoin season, blah, 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 blah. Then we got it to May, tops. It was wrong. It was looking pretty bad. I thought, yeah, look, bullish, bearish. It's not looking too good. Then we had the breakdown, right? That's when it was like, all right, alts are off. If we go into a semi-bear market, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, then the altcoins are going to bleed and I'm going to lose my Bitcoin value. I don't want to lose my Bitcoin value. So that was the whole, what I was talking about through April and May was clearing out of altcoins, all of the shitcoin positions, the small stuff that I didn't have a belief in. I was just using as a trade and then getting back into my major positions just in case the market did take off, because you never know. You never know whether it's going to be the top or the bottom. You can just use what's on the chart to give you some guidance. So that is where we're at. 1200 online. Make sure you like the stream up, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Hopium free. Do my best. Bear market, dollar cost averaging. And on that note, let's take a look at our fear and greed. So fear and greed, 10. This is where we're at. That's it. 10. What does 10 tell us to do? Yesterday was 23. I was very surprised we went from 23 to 10. Solid drop. 10 says buy. So that means we go over to our chart. What was the price at open? Open price was up here. So you're just looking there. 31,614. So we go over to our plan and we type in 22nd of June. What was it? 31,614. This is how you create a plan. This is easy putting a plan together. So people don't have plans. This just takes the stress out of it. All right, so 31,614. What am I doing? I'm buying $1,000 divided by 31,614. That gives me 0.03163. 3163. All right. 3163. Okay. So we're at price of Bitcoin is 31,000, what, 600, 700, something like that. Doesn't really matter because this is just, we keep updating this. And so ideally, we want to keep buying up our Bitcoin. We have our plan of how many times we're able to spread our investment over. 10 hits of the dice, 10 rolls of the dice, 20 rolls of the dice, whatever it is. This comes down to you, whatever your plan is. For this, I'm just going to keep buying it while we're underneath those, the 15 or under, as we've written up here. So if you haven't been following the channel, make sure you do. Hit the subscribe button, follow along. At least you got some idea of what you can put together. Again, I know I've seen a lot of people in the comments saying that they're following this. It's been fantastic. That's great. Just please make sure that you do some further research onto it, because I just put this together as a plan to test out and to track along the way, because the market's fallen. We've got to do something. Can't just sit on our hands and keep listening to YouTubers and Twitter and all this sort of BS, just saying it's going to be okay. It's all FUD out there, blah, blah, blah. The idea is to have a plan. All right. So we're putting it together. And then the idea is like, the questions that always come up is, when do I buy? Why am I buying? Like, when do I know is the right time to buy? How much should I buy? Should I buy now? And I'm sick of answering those questions. It's just ridiculous. It's like, put something together and then you won't have to ask those questions. You know, I'm not your shepherd herding those sheep together. If you want to be herded together, there are plenty of people who want to be your shepherd. I'm not interested in that. I think that was a pretty good line. Okay. So we're at 9 times. I mean, look, if you want to be a sheep and get herded by a shepherd, eventually you're led to slaughter. That's pretty much what happens. Unfortunately, that's what happens. And retail is very well, they know how to be led by someone because they're unsure. And if you just put some time into it, you won't have to be a sheep anymore. All right, fear and greed 10. Even if you get it wrong, I was thinking of that. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong. It's the point is that you are trying and you're putting something together. You get it wrong, it's the cost of doing business. The people who have been going a long time, investors, a lot of big investors have lost everything and started again. You know, that's the cost of learning how to invest. And so if you're down money and you're feeling sad, which I saw a couple of comments come through earlier in the stream, I'll turn this off because we've done our screen share on there. There was a comment, I think, I can't see it now. Anyway, it was right at the start. Someone wrote in, fresh tuner actually, and just said that they had lost a lot of money on the way down, but at least they're learning along the way. And other people get really upset and triggered at people on Twitter or YouTube saying, you told me to do this. It's like, I guess some people do tell you to buy and sell, but at the end of the day, you got to go through and create your own plan so that you can learn from it. What are you talking about? We are talking about the fear and greed index, and we're talking about creating a Bitcoin plan for specific times like this in the market. There you go. You're in. Fresh tuna. I read that. I screenshot it too. It was good. My method. Okay, so yeah, let us know some of your methods. This might be a helpful place for people to at least express what they're doing and then get some ideas and go away and test them as well. Plan looks good. All right, so B dub. My method is I put $100 in miscellaneous cryptos every week and $150 into stablecoins. I only use the stablecoins when the fear index drops below 15. Today was a good day. Yeah, and look, even if it goes further than this point, the additional like the fundamental reason for cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, etc., is that we believe it's going to have a longer term outlook. We believe it's going to be worth more in the future than what it's worth now. And if you don't believe that, then you shouldn't be investing in it. So personally, I'm not looking to do, I wouldn't say any, because there is one, maybe two cryptos which I'm interested in buying on these dips, but primarily the vast majority is Bitcoin because we've seen it time and time again. Let's share the charts. Here we go. We've seen it time and time again. When Bitcoin goes on a drop, altcoins generally drop with it. There's only set times where altcoins will have their little rally with Bitcoin. And then if Bitcoin goes up, starts its charge, then altcoins also bleed. All right, so I've got Bitcoin here on the chart. Yesterday, we saw this low come in. And I posted that on Twitter as well. So we're looking at this on Twitter as a potential reversal within hours or days, for only hours or days, I should say, because I was only looking at a 1 hour and a 4 hour chart. So it's a really important point to highlight that if we're only looking at a short-term time frame, like a 1 hour, this is not a place that you're going to know for certain if we're going to get a reversal on a longer-term outlook. And I repeat that time and time again because it's just something that I see so often from influencers that they'll look at a 1 hour chart because that gives you something to talk about on a daily basis, but it doesn't mean anything a few days from now. It could not mean anything a few hours from now. So those tweets, the tweets I had were around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock last night. And so we saw a reversal for a few hours. So the first tweets were here and we saw a reversal, or at least the market pause for 11 hours. So it caused the market to go sideways for 11 hours. So it did work. Now we saw it drop, but we haven't seen a follow through. And so the follow through that I would be looking for is something to equal or at least get some sort of range consistent to what we have currently seen. So we've seen that range break down from 36 to, call it, about 32. And now this is our high. And we're basically failing at about 50% of that range, which makes sense. Again, we know that's Gann analysis. So this is the range. Here is the swing. And basically we've hit 50%. Volume has been coming in. We needed that volume to come in. Back to the daily chart. You can see it's just nothing on a daily chart. And check out that volume compared to the previous lows. It's up there. So this might hold the market up for, again, a few more hours, maybe a few days. Ultimately, I think we will test these levels. Doesn't really mean anything. It just, for me, I just want to have an idea that, yes, it could happen because we've already seen it happen a few times. The market, as it moved up, was quite weak. This was a weak move. I remember seeing Twitter. It's like, yay, $41,000, $40,000. And I'm like, that just really rallies your sheep up. It doesn't really do anything else apart from rally the sheep. I mean, it's fun, but it rallies the sheep. Let's rally the sheep next time. Okay, so that was the fake, and now we've seen 6 days. I think I counted 6, 7 7 days down. So we'll probably see a reversal within today or say over the next couple of days, few days. Generally, it's about 7 to 10 days before you get a reversal. This one was extremely, we had never seen from the history I could find, we'd never seen 11 days down. And if you guys have been following since then, since April, you know how many times I was saying that. There's 11 days down. This isn't right. This isn't right. Everyone calling here in May. We've got another altcoin season coming. I don't think so, guys. A market just doesn't do 11 days down and then all of a sudden reverse into new all-time highs to some extreme number. It's just not. It's just not what the markets do, especially after seeing such weakness. All right, 2000 online. I hope you guys are liking, subscribing. I'm a black sheep. I like that. So this is the sort of stuff that I don't get on board with. Like, all right, let's have a look at the altcoins. That was the whole point of that, right? So Bitcoin falling, and it's just like, go and buy this, buy the dips on this coins. It's not based on anything. There we go. Let's get rid of this so you don't have all that. It's just been bleeding out of Bitcoin value. So you keep buying all these dips. Not only are you losing US dollar value, yes, it's gone down. Let's pick a high. We're losing dollar value, but then we're also losing our Bitcoin value. And some people might say, well, screw it. I don't care about Bitcoin. But you've just lost 60%. I'm just calling it from a high. You can call it from any number you want. We just need a reference point. And so from Bitcoin, all right, let's say that was the 19th of May. That was the bottom as well. So Bitcoin, the 19th until now, well, we know that that's gone up, right? Here's the 19th. So it looks like you're 6% better off, but well, if you'd bought the altcoin, you'd be down 60% of your Bitcoin. That's the crazy thing. So you just keep losing value when trying to buy these altcoin dips when Bitcoin is in a bearish outlook. So these are the times we're buying Bitcoin. If we go with the cycle, the altcoin cycle, the crypto bull market cycle, we go Bitcoin, we go into major altcoins. So the money will flow from Bitcoin to major altcoins to smaller shitcoins, and then the cycle keeps repeating. We do that until we don't, and this is what we've just done. We've just lost all of that we lost all of that momentum in the crypto markets, and now it looks like we're building up again for Bitcoin. Where will the low come? We have been looking at about 27. Oh, there we go. They're all on the chart at about 27K. That's my next target because we got some lows here at 28, 29. We have our 38% level of our major ranges resistance card. I know I've always called it the fib because I just use this tool here, the fib retracement, but Gang called this a ranges resistance card. And then we also have our 50% level, which comes in at 26,300. So that's of this 100% range. And I'm not looking for this range to repeat. If it did repeat, well, then we can look at $11,000, but I'm a little more hopeful than that. We are starting to see some of these volumes come in at these lows as well, and it keeps pushing the market back up. So we're at 32 now, 32,400. You won't see this, but I'll change the number on our fear and greed index. So we're down 7%. If we've been buying on the plan, if we've been buying on our fear and greed index plan, then again, this is just testing, then we would only be down 7%. But if we've been buying altcoins, like Random Vids says, buy AVAX, you won't regret it. I don't have a problem with the project long term, but if we've been buying altcoins from that point, not only will we be down a ton of Bitcoin, we'll be down US dollar value as well. I'm not saying that we won't be down US dollar value on Bitcoin, but I just want to protect my capital. I'm here to invest. I love what crypto is trying to do, but I also want to protect my capital. I'm not just trying to be foolish and just go and buy all these dips. So riches, I don't get it. I'm speechless. Yeah, I am speechless. All right. I don't get it. But let's have a look. No offense to any of these. I guess I don't know what other people are watching online throughout their days and who they trust. And I'm trying not to hype a whole lot of things up and get really emotional about it, because there's no point. There's no point in getting fully emotional about it. But I know that there are plenty of channels that are just like, we're breaking through support levels now, guys. You got to watch this. It's super important. I'm going to share the screen. That's what I'm waiting here to do. Okay. Chrome tab. Vet. There it is. Vet. All right. I posted this on Twitter as well. Not Vet, but altcoins in general. This, like, it's just a cliff. There's no bottom signal yet. Sure, it could reverse on the day, but most people are looking for a long-term hodl. I'm not saying don't buy Vet ever. I'm just saying look for these periods. Like, why buy all of these? Why buy all of those when you could look at this and it doesn't matter, buy these dips on the way out. It's similar-ish levels, but you haven't had to sit through all of this. And it's not a bad thing to sit through it. Okay, that's fine, but a lot of people don't. That's why retail always loses, because they'll get sick of this. They'll get sick of buying this dip and then every freaking day down. You don't know what this looks like. This is what look at this. This looks exactly the same as what we're looking at Vet now. It's like, oh, okay, this is today. Oh, look, there's today. And so it's like, okay, buy this day. Oh, okay, it's sideways. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll buy this day. I'll buy this day. I'll buy this day. Oh, and then I'll buy this. You get the point, right? I'll buy all these. Oh, I'll buy all these. That's why I say not all dips are created equal. So a dip is not just a dip. Like, what the hell? This is just going off a cliff and I'm just losing all of my Bitcoin value. So I don't have that purchasing power later. If I'm buying Bitcoin and Bitcoin keeps going down, okay, I've lost my US dollar value. But now I have Bitcoin and I'm of the view that these altcoins will continue to bleed on their Bitcoin value. So I know I'm going to get a cheaper price on the cryptos that I want later. So from VeChain for the top to the low, crushed. We lost 50% of our Bitcoin value so far. Maybe we get a little hold up now because we've got the tops coming in. We've got a low here. Maybe it's a reversal point. Maybe it moves up to this point. But I think we're probably still going to bleed out and test. Markets just don't shoot up thousands of a percent in a matter of within 12 months and then recover in a couple of months. It doesn't work, especially the Bitcoin values. Let's look at Ethereum as an example. I can be wrong, but I have to have a view in order to execute my plan. So I think Ethereum's still going to fall further, which is why I'm not buying a ton of Ethereum. I haven't bought any Ethereum. Pretty much just Bitcoin. There is one other crypto which I am interested in. So Ethereum, look at this. This top, I put this on a video recently as well. This top was around the $400 top for Ethereum in June of 2017. The Bitcoin value of Ethereum fell 83%, but you wouldn't know it because the dollar value didn't fall 83%. It's this move here. It was about 70%, but then it went sideways as well. So it fell, there's the dollar value 60, but then it quickly recovered and you're only down about 30%. So most people can kind of stomach that as they see the market go up. But then we didn't get this move. This was the next peak and it never reached its old all-time high of Bitcoin value. See, so this is the top in February. And so this was the perfect time just to sell out of all Ethereum and not buy it back, not never, but not buy it back until these lows. So you could be out of Ethereum since June 2017 and then come back into it in 2020. And that's across the board with altcoins. So that's why I'm not scared to not be buying altcoins, because I suspect something similar will happen again. I can be wrong, but I need a plan so I can execute it and not flip-flop around to different channels and ideas and theories, etc. So we're still going to be buying VET. Am I a moron? No one's a moron for doing this. Just make sure you have a journal. Write down in your journal what you've been buying, and then you can reflect on it in a month's time, 6 months' time, a year's time. You're only a moron if you don't learn from your mistakes. I'll have a look at ADA BTC. Yeah, see, that also looks like it's falling off a cliff. I did a specific video on Cardano as well on the channel. Just I went through BTC, ADA BTC, ADA ETH, ADA USD, long term, short term, GAN analysis, Wyckoff. It's on the channel. So I'm burping up my soda water here. So it's on the channel. Check it out after this as well. All right, 2,300 online. Thank you, guys. Have we got any? I put some news on the channel yesterday. We've got a lot happening. There's a lot of institutions which are still coming through and setting themselves up again, and as in looking to be purchasing Bitcoin and setting their own plans up. So I'm not big time bearish long term. We didn't have this in 2018. It was more of the promises that it would come, and it was looking like it was being built in 2019, 2020. So I think we're getting closer to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency being a mainstay, but there is over 10,000 cryptos, which means a lot of them have to die. A lot of them will die. Me too, but look, it's not that much. So, fortunately, did I miss the dip? No, we've got the BTC plan there. You can check it. Did Tether? This is probably a good one to mention. Tether, well, how does it crash? Like, it's a stable coin, and it can crash. It can fluctuate between the prices, but we would notice that on the charts if it did. If Tether crashed, then the market would be screwed. It wouldn't die off forever, but it would be screwed for some time until we found another stable coin to replace it. And it's good now through this market because we've got USDC, Binance, whether you love them or hate them. BUSD is there, Gemini is there. You don't have to love them. It's just that there are options out there. Wait a sec. Jason has not researched Tether yet? Yes, it's the same thing that was in 2017. It's the same news and content from 2017. I've seen it. I even put it in a video yesterday looking at CoffeeZilla, who went into it in great detail, 35-minute video, watch it on fast, looking at Tether and their relationship with Bitfinex, the pretty much how much it looks like a scam, how they're using all their banking and printing Tether and like flooding the market with it. Yes, it's the same thing that happened in 2017. My I wouldn't say comeback, but my thoughts on that are this was the same fear that was put into the market in 2017, 2018. Market dropped in 2018, which we now know. And silly myself, we didn't have USDC, we didn't have BUSD, we didn't have any other stable coins that I can remember. They were coming through, but they weren't there yet. And our only stable coin was USDT. And I didn't sell my crypto into USDT because I thought it would crash because the same fear news. Oh, if it crashes, well, I'm better off holding these cryptocurrencies because at least they'll be worth something. And, some of them crash 99%. So what is worse? The fear of USDT potentially crashing, having nothing, or holding the shit coins and them going to 99% and probably never coming back. That has to be a decision that you make for your own plan. I know which decision I'll be making next time around. So before you get on your little high horse going, wait a sec, has he not researched Tether? Just go back and research history as well. Mate, your most level-headed analyst I found on YouTube. I started following 10 guys. I now follow you and Brazilian dude who's also pretty reasonable. Nice stuff. Thank you. Legend, love these streams. Great. I do love doing them. I could talk forever. Miners, where was that? Miners leaving China. Yeah, we looked at that in a couple of videos recently. Look, I'm one of the guys that I want to piece some news together of what's happening later down the track. The news of miners leaving China, I'm possibly agree that it could be a great thing, because once they're out of there, who is going to continue to throw shade on the cryptocurrency markets like the CCP does? The Communist Party of China, um, Chinese Communist Party, whatever, CCP. They just sort of throw shade all the time, and miners do this, miners do that. It's green energy. It's not. It's just nonsense. It's like it's not as no, they're worse. They're worse in India. But then you've got India news of banning Bitcoin, bringing Bitcoin back, banning it again because of the banks. Oh no, we'll bring it back. It's just nonsense. So miners leaving China will probably help stabilize the market. That's the way I look at it. I have to make a decision on it to, invest for the long term. And that's my fundamental look of the market. And yes, I do have technicals because obviously I look at charts. What is the next flag you are watching for a major step towards adoption? Good question. I haven't thought about that in detail. I honestly haven't thought about it in detail because I'm always just I watch the charts mostly. And as I see the market pick up steam again, then I'm feeling much more strong about the market, even if the news hasn't come out yet. The news isn't there. That's usually the case. Think about, let me bring up a chart. I'm going to look at Bitcoin chart and then look back at 2020. All right, so we're at 32,500 now. 2020. What news did we have in crypto to suggest that we should be heading to new all-time highs? Apart from, MicroStrategy's coming out saying he's buying all this crypto back in April or May, because I think he had his average price of about 10 grand back then. And there was someone else that did it back then too. Raoul Pal, I think, was through this area. He did have crypto a long time ago. I think he said it was like 2012, but then sold it, bought it for 8, sold it for 200 or something like that. But he bought most of his through here. Then we had like the DeFi summer take off, and that was kind of, the peak was around August. Yeah, the peak was around here, and then DeFi wore off. So apart from, say, even like Max Kaiser, these sort of guys who've just been Bitcoin bulls since the beginning, even through this, they're still like, Bitcoin should be worth $1 million. I agree, it's probably worth $1 million at some point in the future, but I'm not getting carried away with it now. But in terms of the news at these times, through 2019, 2020, there wasn't really any real reason, but a lot of things were being built, and that just had to take time to come to the market. We had this big spike in 2019 and then a nice fade off. This also coincided with Litecoin's halving, and then Litecoin basically just died from that point as well. So yeah, what's the next flag I'm watching for? To be honest, I don't know. What are you guys watching for? Let's see if any of those theories sort of stack up. What is the next flag that you're watching for a major step towards adoption? There'll be a lot of good reasons. I just haven't thought much into it. Can religion influence Bitcoin? Should I get a priest? Should I get a priest? Ooh, I don't know if you want to get a priest. Religion. I don't know. Possibly, but not like, it'll influence it for a period of time, and then everything influences it, right? But in terms of tax friendliness, maybe you could start a church, and you don't have to. Well, I think you might have to be the priest of the church, but you basically just fill out some paperwork and you have your own church, and there you go, tax free. I've seen it on YouTube. Should I search that a bit? If you search it, there are people that are just setting up their own churches legitimately, and they're tax free. I don't know whether I'm allowed to say that. I mean, it's all legal stuff. So don't go and shoot me for that. It's just stuff that is interesting. The whales are manipulating us too hard and triggered a bear market. I mean, there was a figure that I read the other day, yesterday, a couple of days ago. I think I was listening to a Raoul Pal thing or one of those, and it was basically 86% of the money in the market, or 96% of the money in the market, is made up of about 5% of people. And so if the whales are actually trying to manipulate retail, and this is what the shepherds on YouTube do, is try to pin you against someone. They just want to give you someone to be angry at, because if they're wrong, then you're going to be angry at them. But if they can give you a scapegoat like Elon Musk or something like that, then they don't look like the bad guys anymore, which I think is kind of BS. But people want that. People will go to these shepherds. So long story short, in terms of this manipulation, I know I get off on tangents. If 96% of the money is being controlled by about 5% of the people, then they're actually just going after each other. They don't give a crap about the sheep. You know, they can take a little bit of profits from the sheep if these figures are true that I was reading from or listening to from one of these other bigger players in the game. So yeah, they're playing against each other. All right, we're asking about what are the triggers. I didn't see too many come through. What are the flags for getting cryptocurrency to major adoption? All right. I didn't see much there. All right. Thank you for the super chats. You guys honestly don't have to do any of the super chats. I see one here. Jason, appreciate the live stream investing 101 question. When investing long term, not swing trading, does setting stop losses make sense? I think so. You know, it just has to be a chunk of the market. And it also depends on where is the rest of your money coming from. If investing is your only game, then you probably will have to use stop losses. At least have targets where you're saying, I'm getting out of this market because the trend is down. So if you're long-term investing, trend's down, I sell out, I take my profits, I put that on the sidelines, and I look for something else. I don't need to throw it into something straight away. Just like what's happening with cryptocurrency right now. I don't need to throw my money into something straight away. I'm not throwing it into altcoins, and I'm only putting it into Bitcoin when I see the time is right. That's pretty much it. So in terms of investing long term, setting stop losses, if it's not your only game and you have other income, then that might be part of your plan, just to keep putting new fresh money in, because our long-term outlook on the market is it will always go up only. But I personally play it in terms of like a long-term swing. I just want to take a big chunk out of the market. I don't have to be at the top. I don't have to be at the exact bottom. That takes the stress out. Plus I get to take a good chunk along the way. Because this is what I do full time. So again, it's going to be different for different people. If you're a newbie and still in profit, should you sell? Well, that depends on your outlook. Do you think the market's got a lot further to fall? And if they do, are you going to be prepared to buy it? Are you emotionally ready as a newbie to be buying lows? This is what you got to weigh up. And generally that question pops up when we see, look, I look at bars. I know everyone looks at the default colored candle setting, colored crayons. Generally that question comes up when we see these big days. So this is just volume at the bottom. And this is generally where the most interest comes into the market. So we did a live stream that day, the 19th. That was the biggest day. And that was like 21,000 people online. Everyone was nuts. It was like markets crashing. I was like, wow, what the hell's going on? And then we got the bounce back. And then we went, we stabilized for a bit. And so that question usually pops up at these sort of days. Should I sell? The time to sell is when we get into some new highs. But at that point, the greed sort of sets in going, oh, maybe we'll go a little bit higher. It took out these highs and then close back under it. So that's a bearish signal on its own. That's why I put the other video up saying I'm not buying this Bitcoin pump. The receipt is on the channel. Where are we? Videos. That's the sort of subtle things that I look at when I'm investing. Bitcoin breakout. Not buying Bitcoin pump. That was a week and a half ago. That was on the day of the El Salvador news. So I bought the low, but I wasn't buying the pump. That was around here, 9th or 10th. Cool. Oh, I want to go to the crypto that I like the look of. There's only one, but even now it's had a bit of a crush. So that's why I'm just not that phased. And it is XMR. XMR is still holding above its 50% zone, whereas everything else has taken a dive beneath its levels. But XMR had a very hard time through 2021 because it got delisted off many exchanges for being a privacy coin, which the government can't crack. Do you see that? Yeah, XMR. Cool, that's up. So for me, I'm just going to throw another couple of alerts down here in the 6,000. Is that 6,000? 2, 4, 6, 8, 60, 600,000? I don't know what the freaking number is. Doesn't really matter. I know on the chart it's there. And if we break down, cool, probably come back and test these 55 levels. All right, but that's one of the cryptos that I am comfortable in holding longer term. With that said, I don't think this is like a 100x sort of token or anything like that. It could surprise me and do that, but I think it has a place in the cryptocurrency game, and it hasn't been cracked by the government, all that sort of stuff. I mean, I think that shows some sort of sign of strength. It's been around a very long time. XMR USD. The USD is not looking good on that, but the Bitcoin value is, see, it's holding its position here for now. Doesn't mean it'll hold it forever, but at the moment it's holding up much better than many of the other cryptos. You know, USD could still come back and test these levels in the $100. All right, alerts are on. I think I just want to look at ADA next. ADA BTC, the breakdown, 50% hit. Yep, that's normal. Holding up reasonably okay. If we move this to the high, look at that. ADA's well above its 50% zone as well. Pretty strong. $1.20. Do you think we're going to get under this dollar point? You know, the volume's just really not there yet for Cardano. You know, that was a reversal. This is all in that video too, looking at this major bearish engulfing. The drop, the volume's gone. I'm going to throw one underneath these lows at around $1.06, and then again underneath these levels at 90. But that would be some stellar buying. Where's my chart? Here. Good. Awesome. David Ryle. As a full-time trader, how do you set your personal salary? What determines it, or do you just live off some income from your property investments? No, I don't have any property investments. They're all gone. Got rid of those years ago. Some did very well, some did very poorly. That was me getting too excited in some of these crazy mining towns on high leverage, which is pretty much why I don't like to do so much of it in crypto, and I haven't done it for a very long time. So that's just a bit of background about leverage and my experience with it. But in terms of trading, yes, chunks, let it sit on the side, draw down when I need to. So I don't live like a super extravagant life because I'm in this in terms of a long term. You know, I want to be accumulating as much as I can now, and then I can sit back and let it ride. I've got the energy as I'm young. I can, I can create stuff, and I sort of do that and let that ride. We looked at this Gen V. Thanks for the super chat. We looked at this earlier in the stream, and this is part of it. So check it out earlier in the stream and go back and check out the video on the channel specifically about the plan. Remember, I don't know how many times I have to put it in. It's not a complete plan, all right? But it's something to get started with. I see people talking about it like they want to make it a complete plan because it's, from a very basic point of view, it's working reasonably well, right? But I have to stress it's not a complete plan and it's not financial advice, etc. Okay. All right, scam. I know you've been saying that all live stream, but I appreciate that you've been here. ADA is a great buy at these levels. Maybe. Thanks, VIP coach. Where'd you go? I am Jason. We're all Jason. No, we're not going to take George's line. I appreciate it though. Jack, my portfolio is in the red. Is in the red at a pretty bad time. Should I just be DCAing and create a plan to try and make profits for future? Personally, that's what I did through 2018, 2019. We dropped whatever it was, 70% from 20K to sort of, it bubbled, bumped around sort of 6, 7 grand. So in terms of that, look, it depends what you're willing to wait. I was prepared to wait, and so I got patience. I can wait this out, and it paid off. Anton, don't make him crazy. Oh, Matic. Matic, that was another one. It's the ones that are on my list are like Sol, Matic, Theta. I think they're all great projects, but what what I learned is need patience. We need patience, right? Retail generally just buys. It's like, I don't want to wait. I just want to buy the cryptos and forget about it. So, okay, if that's your plan, that's your plan. But don't go crying to someone or, getting upset that your portfolio is down because you just wanted to buy the crypto at any price. So let's have a look at Matic as well. Don't make me mad. Matic USD, $1.13. I got a lot of these like I told you so moments. I was getting called a fool for not buying the Matic low once it bounced up after a couple of days. It was a 200. This was a 200% gain. It wasn't that long ago. Remember, 1 month ago, that 200%. You're an idiot for not doing that. I said you're only going to be, a champion if you had bought the bottom and sold the top. But I suspect because people are greedy, they would hold it. And now you're down. From that top to where we are now for Matic is down 53%. So from that low, how far is it up? It's up 48. Call it 50% for a nice round number. Okay. So it's only up 50% from that low, which is still good compared to a lot of other cryptos at the moment. But in terms of, getting swept up in the emotions of the time of this, you're an idiot, you're a fool for not getting this bounce. I would guarantee from my experience, most people would have held that, got greedy, seen it fall these few days. And so from being up at this $2.40 down to that $36, it's going to come back. Okay, it's coming back. It doesn't come back. It falls again. It'll come back. All right, it didn't come back. Damn, I'm down too far now to be worried. Oh, sweet, it's coming back. That sense of relief and then fear, relief and then fear. And now we have the fear, and it's just like, well, it's all over. It's too late to sell now. We're basically back near the low. That is the psychology that happens with every single one of these cryptocurrencies, and you will notice it if you pay attention. That's all I can add to that. Yeah, it's just right there. Up, the emotion and the fear, and the little emotion and then the fear. And oh, wait a second. Boom. Okay, it's too late to sell now. It's coming back. Sweet. I'm going to sell out at some point. And then, some of the more smart money or the people that can't handle anymore, sell here. Damn, we're back down. All right, it'll come back. Nope. Bang. Heartbroken. Crushed. That's what we're waiting for in a lot of these. So Matic, BTC, that's why I wasn't interested. I'm like, look, this doesn't look like something that is just going to turn around and go to new highs. So why am I buying this when crypto or when the Bitcoin value is going to be worth less? I've lost 50% of my Bitcoin value from those points. When everyone's like, look, Matic's a good buy right now. No, it's not going to new all-time highs. I had someone else saying about Engine, not in the chat today, but another someone else that I talk with offline looking to buy Engine. Yeah, Engine also crushed. USD also crushed. Those lows looked all right, but for a Bitcoin value, yeah, pretty much back to where you started with the Bitcoin value. It's just too high of a risk. I don't want my capital being tied up in these things if they continue to fall. And that's generally what happens to them. They'll come back and test these levels, come back and test this area that it didn't spend much time in, and then come back and sit around here, and then probably trickle out again. And these can continue to fall, trickle down, while Bitcoin is going up. And then they just have these erratic moves for a couple of weeks, and then they die. nice long moves and back down, and then erratic moves for a few weeks, maybe a couple of months here, and then they die. And that's all alts are good for at the moment. Ethereum is a little different. Cardano has also been showing that it's different. It might continue to fall, but it's showing that it has signs of being different. The last one was Sol, Matic, Sol, Sol BTC. Sol was holding up, and it's still above its 50% levels. I'm not counting on that yet because I don't see it as a low. I think we'll probably come back and test the 50, maybe come back and test these levels as well. And then I want to wait for some sort of, this to finish. Look at that, just down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Like it's almost the same as this. Where is my, here, this one. Look at that. It's pretty much, I'm not saying it's going to go this low. It very well could. I'm just showing that it's a very similar pattern. This erratic behavior of just a spike down, a spike up. We get a little bounce up and then we bleed out. And that sort of lines up. If it was, it lines up pretty well. I don't use these things, but I can see that this has the possibility of happening again. You guys can see that, right? And this could last many months. I'm just, you can draw it out here. You can bring it in here. I just think it's going to last a lot longer than most people are willing to wait. And then when they get sick of it and they sell out, they might think, oh, this is the time. And then it just dies off again. They all sell out. That's when I want to pounce. So I need to be patient. I need to be here another 6-9 months, I think, at least, for these BTC alt BTC pairs to continue bleeding out. It's different to the USD value. Maybe the USD value holds up because Bitcoin takes its move earlier. Okay. Sol is getting crushed. Again, still around its 50%, so it's okay. Theta, that was the other one, $6. So I had my level here at $4 and it spiked into it. And I thought, damn, I missed my opportunity. But then when we got this weak rally, I thought, all right, we're probably going to come back into that zone, if not a little lower. So that's when I can strike for my Theta tokens. 2,700 online. Every time I'm thinking, yeah, we're doing well. We're 52 minutes in. Have you guys liked the video? I want to come back to some of your questions. I kind of sure it's not going to climb to the rockstar heights until next year. I think so with the BTC values. They take some time to build up. Cheers. It's another way to look at it. Why is everyone going nuts about DOT? You can almost guarantee that they're all the same, right? I'll look at DOT in a sec, okay? I'm not going to hold out on you guys. What's your opinion on SHIB? Oh no, and their upcoming decks. I've seen a lot of news on its listing today. SHIB. I mean, it's a Ponzi scheme coin. What more can you do with it? Look at the history of it. Look at what it's based on. Just like Binance Rug Pull confirmed. It's like all of these things. I'm sorry, Lance. They're all the same. Safe Moon, Safe Mars, Ponzi this, Ponzi that, safest, safer, Shiba Inu, Safe Shiba, Shiba whatever. It's one letter away from what it is. Do I still like Ramp? I never, in terms of a chart, yeah, look, it's been heading down. It's not a good one. That was one of the ones I wasn't completely sold on, and that's off, gone. Maybe later, but when I was talking in April and May about consolidating those sort of little projects, I'm like, these are generally the first ones to go because they haven't had they haven't had the traction like a Cardano, like a Polkadot or anything like this. They haven't had that traction. So what's the reason that they're going to be able to survive in such negative times? All right. You're going on timeout. Ragini, timeout. You keep posting, go on. Remember when Doge was going to replace Bitcoin? Ooh. Doge is a crazy one. Did I just answer? I just answered the ramp thing. Why are you still posting again? Okay, so Doge. Like I said, I don't get everything 100% right, and I was sure Doge would be, hit its tops and crash. Didn't happen. But when we can see on the chart how the accumulation again it took off, that one was blowing my mind. And I was listening to something recently with network effects, and so even though Doge doesn't do anything, and um, there's no development on it at the moment, then all it takes, because it has a network effects, all it takes now is for some people to come together and get some development going on. So the network effects is the hardest part. This has the meme culture to it. But Doge has also been crushed, and that's to be expected, especially when you have retail really going in hard on these things. Looked at VeChain, someone was asking. Phantom, potentially. Prove me wrong on the chart. Done better than most. Yeah, but remember, when these things that do better than most, it's usually they do better in the short term because they are new. Like Matic. Matic was doing better than everything else. And then eventually they catch up. Just like Kasama. Good mention. Kasama was doing better because they had the power auctions come up and then parachain auctions. And then it also crashes. It just catches up. Everything has its time for that brief moment in a bear market, and then they all catch up. They all start to fade again. I suspect that'll happen to Phantom as well. Like, why would Phantom have? Why is it different to everything else? There'll be obviously reasons that people come up with, but look, it's crypto. There's 10,000 cryptocurrencies. Most of them are going to turn to dust. Never understood why people look at BTC pairs until I found your channel. Excellent. Good work. I hope you guys are getting the hang of it, because at the end of the day, look, everyone's here to make money. The tech is great and what it stands for is great. This is the whole privacy thing so that we can get in control our organization of societies and our own money. That's the big part here. But a lot of people come here to make money. They come here to make money. So if you don't understand where you're losing money, then you'll be forever in that rat race and being controlled by governments, etc. Right? So you need to improve your own knowledge of what's going on so that you can get out. You work within it, we'll work within it, help other people and just help them out. Otherwise, they continue to get controlled. Did you come back from timeout? Who's screaming Dot? Polkadot. Okay. I want to look at Dot too. That's the only reason why I'm looking at it. Dot. Any other questions while I bring up Dot? Can we just laugh at Litecoin again? Just feel bad for it. That's ridiculous. I really thought that we'd have another run in Litecoin, but that just cements its place, doesn't it? The volume's dried up out of it. Weak. I'll get to Dot. Don't worry. The volume is drying up, but doesn't mean it's going to go anywhere. It's just straight down. Just a test net for Bitcoin. The old test net for Bitcoin. Dot. And Doge. A lot of fun. .USD. Yeah, that has been very sad. It's been crushed. Oh man, that got to a new high, and I was thinking, how can this thing go on again in May when everything else is just not looking too good? And then that was the failure. A lot of these things came up and they failed that second time round, and a lot of cryptos did that. So that was like another signal to me that I'm like, oh, this isn't looking good. Do you know what I mean by this? We're looking in May, right? This is what we saw. Sorry, it's winter here. My nose is dripping. All right. So this is what we're looking at in May. And then the markets started to push up again, and it had some volume to it. But I think it was the next couple of days that really showed this. It was like, yep, it's time. And from that point, it was basically over. It was over very quickly. That's why it's really important to keep taking profits. You got some volume come in here at the lows. Doesn't mean it's going to hold up. Maybe it comes back to this $9 or $10. There's nothing, all I'm seeing here is there's nothing to say that we have confirmed a low. It's nice to see some volume come in, like stopping volume on the days. But even today, it's still continued down. Doge, look at that. Just crushed yesterday. Crushed. Oh, it's nice to see that happen because it's just, there's nothing on it. It's just literally gambling. Literally gambling. Doge BTC, look at all your Bitcoin value just get absolutely crushed. You had a lot of Bitcoin and now, oh, not that one, this one. 50 odd percent of Bitcoin lost. You're buying one Bitcoin's worth up here. Now you have half a Bitcoin down here. Again, it's probably holding up because you got some more price regions here. So people are looking back saying, that looked like it was a good price at some point. Well, yeah, it's probably going to keep sinking. The next support levels for Doge are back down at that 10-cent level. Then it comes back into the single digits. So Doge for me, that would be one hell of a ride back down to 100 Satoshis. And then further. It'd take a while. It'd be like a gradual bleed out because this bleed took 3 years. We had a couple of small pumps. There was like a TikTok pump here in July 2020. That was where I bought at whatever it was, but I sold pretty early as well. I just could not believe that we would get some massive rise. But this drag, say from this pump to the lows before it takes off, 800 something, that's over 2 years. It's like 2.5 years of a bleed. Can you be patient for 2.5 years? Alex Banker was citing .x10. It is at least 65% down. Yeah, they're all down. They're all down. How about ICP? It started off at 700 2 months back, now 40. Well, I mean, that's to be expected from something that just gets launched onto the market, retail buys it up, and then the holders sell to the market. Like the early investors sell to the market. That's ICP. You can start putting your income into BTC. James the King, show us how. What are you, like 13? Did your mum let you onto the internet? They give you the password to access the computer. If you got the password, go and do something more suitable to your age bracket. Best book on Wyckoff for plebs. You know what? I have my books here on the side just in case anyone asked. Trading in the Shadows of the Smart Money. That's a good one for plebs. It's a good one for anyone. This is great. It goes through the volume patterns. And so when I did this on one of the recent videos, go back and check those videos out. You notice that a lot of people are looking at Wyckoff now. A lot of people don't look at volume. And literally everything in here has to do with volume, the price bar and the volume. If someone is not putting volume with their Wyckoff, forget about it. Wyckoff literally looked at volume because that's what he was seeing the whales doing. The volume is there to show you what they're doing. For the locals, Gold Coast good for a holiday. Sydney better to live in NFO. I'm old. No, Sydney's nice. I mean, I like the Gold Coast to live. Less people, less traffic, warmer weather. Our winters are freaking warm. Well, comparatively speaking to the rest of the country. We looked at Matic already. Altcoins. Altcoins. What have we learnt about altcoins? Please. Anything else with altcoins? They're pretty much all the same. Don't make this game any more complicated than it needs to be. Mina protocol. I could just list every 10,000 of the cryptocurrencies. Let's list every single cryptocurrency. VeChain, DOT. They're all their Bitcoin values are going down. What like someone accused me of making it too complicated. I'm saying it's not that complicated. It's literally just buy have a plan to buy Bitcoin and then just wait till the bottom happens on the altcoins against their Bitcoin value. And that probably won't come until we at least see Bitcoin take off again. That's just looking at history. That's just going back and looking at what has happened in the past for the last several altcoin cycles. Now, if you don't understand where lows are, go get books like this. Trading in the Shadows of Smart Money. There's generally, well, I have a link to this in the description of all the videos. Okay. You got that. Stock market crashes, real estate crashes. It's all garbage, man. All garbage. Go and get this thing and read that. You got time now. Get into that. There's 200 years of cycle experience here. That'll help you with your cryptocurrency investing as well so you don't freak out. Secret Life of Real Estate and Banking. And then if you want to be up to date with it, you couldn't be bothered getting the books, go follow Phil Anderson on Twitter. He'll post about this all the time. There's the name. I have no problem. I want to direct people to real long-term investors and guys who have studied the markets, economists, not bouncing off to some other shepherd on YouTube, etc. El Salvador. What's this? What are the indicators to start DCA in case of a bear market? Which crypto would you hodl during the bear market? Bitcoin. What are the indicators to start DCAing in a bear market? Well, I've put something together that's like the fear and greed plan, which we look at on the channel. We've been covering that for how long now? A month or so, a little longer. And that is just a beginner, somewhere to start. When did you come to the channel? Guys. Come on. I'll say it again. This is my view, of course. And I've explained many times why I don't think these cryptos against their Bitcoin value is worth it. Polkadot may pump after a parachain auction, just like Kasama did, but use that as an example of what has happened. Unless you want to trade it, that could be something to trade. And if you're not a trader, then I don't suggest doing that. I know. And there's probably people online that you can go and watch that will give you the moon that you need. Tell them the truth about what's happening. Tell them what to expect for the next. I don't agree because you don't know that that's going to be 3 to 4 years, and I think a lot of people are thinking that, which makes me think that it's probably not going to happen. Like when I don't know if you like I don't know what the 2,200 people online who was here during 2018 bear market. Were you here in 2018 bear market? Do you remember what the calls were? Every time we hit that low of around 6 or 7 grand, it was like we're going up again. We're going to hit that 30 or 40 grand target. When we were getting closer to the 20 grand the first time around, it was calls for 50 grand and 100 grand Bitcoin. We're going to $1 trillion market cap. The highest we got was around the $800 billion market cap, and all of the news was going to the 50K Bitcoin or the 100K Bitcoin. That got really extreme. Every time we dropped, it was like, this is the accumulation period. This is the time. We're gonna shoot up. Now everyone thinks we're going into a 3 to 4 year bear market. It's like, no, it's over. I'll see you in 3 or 4 years. It's like that smart ass line that everyone sort of drops on a YouTube video. Oh, you guys are fools. I'll see you in 3 to 4 years. It's like, yeah, says who? Says you're not you in particular, Maffey Bogdan. It says you're 13 days experience in the market. But there are some good signs to why I'm not buying other altcoins. There are the odd few, but that's why I'm sticking with the Bitcoin purchasing Bitcoin because we just don't know. It could be 3 to 4 years. If that's the case, then I know from history I'd still be better off purchasing the Bitcoin as it continues to drop and just leaving the rest of the altcoins because they continue to bleed out and I continue to lose that value. And so that's the way I'm hedging my bets in the market. And if you need to learn how to hedge your bets, just research. I don't know. I'm talking about it here. That's really the investing style. I don't want to miss out on the opportunities, but I'm happy to be conservative enough to not be a fool and continue to buy up all these altcoins as they dip the next day after the next day after the next day. Ada, doing live AIMA. Jason, pick your times better. Cool, guys. Cardano, we should move our BTC and altcoins. What indicators? There's the altcoin 4 seasons chart. You can look it up on Twitter. I've put it into many videos as well. And it's basically just shows you what's happening. As Bitcoin begins to pick up and we get these highs of Bitcoin, then the money usually flows out of Bitcoin into the into the altcoins. Ben Cohen said ADA is a diamond in the rough. Potentially. That's what we've been looking at as well. It's fared a lot better than a lot of the other cryptos. It has been rejected at its 50% level. So I'm just waiting on it. It's still, they're dropping against their BTC values. I got nothing against ADA, but if I think it's going to be cheaper in the future, then I'm going to wait for it to be cheaper in the future. I can be wrong, but I need to stick to a plan that I have. I think it's going to be cheaper against its BTC value. And to hedge my bets, to add to that, which I say again, in case it's not, then I'm still buying Bitcoin now. So I'm just not sitting on the sideline with only USD or whatever, like fiat. I have fiat and Bitcoin so that I can get ready to pounce at either time. Should I take a loss and put everything into BTC? I don't want to say yes or no to that because of how far we have dropped down already. I was talking about this back in April and May about rotating out of shitcoins, holding some major cryptos in case the market did move again, but that was quickly shown to for it to fall. And at least ETH kept going up at that point, and then everything fell. And so now it's pretty late. You might make up some gains. Maybe some of these cryptos, and I have no idea which cryptos you have, nor do I want to know how many you have, but some of them might fall another 50%, 80%. Some might only fall another 20%. So, I can't answer that. So we just talked about that one as well. Why not buy ETH instead of Bitcoin later on? Sure, later on, I guess, whatever later on is. I don't know what is this Galaxy I'm doing. Everyone should look on the chain analysis stock to flow model and see how much Bitcoin undervalued. Again, these sort of models, they don't mean that is what it is. Like, it doesn't mean that just because it says it's undervalued, it can't go further undervalue. Don't take advice from people in the red. You can, you can't. You do what you need to do. Some, yes. So I've mentioned that I rotated out of a lot of them in around April, May, and then also later on. But they were smaller positions. So my positions are generally very heavy in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So even if I need to rotate out of them, it doesn't really affect it too much. But there's enough in there in case they take off to a 10, 20, 50x, then I'll really see it. Thanks for the super chats. For those of us newer but very serious mind critical thinkers, what are the top books, resources you would recommend to learn from? There's one of my top books. That one, Real Estate, The Secret Life of Real Estate and Banking. Link to this is in the description down below. The author is on Twitter and he posts a lot of great stuff. I'm trying to get his account over 2,000. I think we'll be over 2,000. Phil Anderson. Trading in the Shadows of the Smart Money. I haven't used any of the software in this book, but this teaches you a lot about Wyckoff method. Check that book out. What else have I got? GAN. This is just a nice little one to start with. It tells you some basic rules to follow. Learn before you lose. Forecasting by time cycles. This thing was written in 19 something. It's a very short, quick read as well. And then GAN has a lot of books that you can get into. Yeah, look, GAN died in 1955, so it was written much earlier than that. Check out William Dilbert Gann as well. You can see all of his trades online. Well, a particular section of the market. Lucky I pulled money out, but stuck with Litecoin and Ethereum Classic. Shifted 80% of my alts to BTC 3 days ago. No sense in bleeding out. Fair. And just note that they can bounce. Like things just don't go down 100% the whole time. There'll be these little bounces, and that's the point where I'm like, oh, cool. This has bounced enough in the BTC Valley. Let me sell out some, and then I'll just watch it keep bleeding out. This guy is boring as hell. Do something better. Do you need me to shout moon to you or something? What do you need to get excited again? Do something better. How old are these people? I don't get it. How old are you that you need to be entertained? Find a shepherd, let them entertain you. They'll lead you to slaughter. Go. What do I care? Very happy to find your channel. You're welcome. You think we'll ever see COVID prices if this crash continues? I don't think so. I don't think. Look, that's a broad statement. Bitcoin, Ethereum, say the majors. No, I would say I don't think we're going to see a $3,850 Bitcoin again, a $80, $90 ETH, a 2-cent Cardano. Like, come on, no. And the reason being is the panic of COVID was pretty much global. That thing was crazy. That was global. Everyone was in shock. You'll have to find a way for the news to do that again to the markets. World War III, something like that could do it to the markets. Even a second lockdown, I don't think is going to scare the market like that. We've all been locked down again and again and again, and it's starting to wear thin on people. And so for the stock market, yeah, sure, well, this year is going to be a bit up and down, but that's going to shock a lot of people. They'll wait again until things have settled down. The dust has cleared. It's gotten a bit safer for them to come out of their hidey holes. The shepherds have called them in. By that stage, the market's already taken off. Because again, referencing the 18-year cycle, which is the biggest stuff. I know we get caught up on crypto. The biggest market, the most money in the world is in the land markets. And so that is the stuff that leads the cycles. The stock market will peak and then the money starts to flow into land. And then that is what we need to be focusing on for the longer term. Crypto is great and all. Definitely. It's a nice, easy one to make big money from without leverage. First time watching. How often do you stream? I stream, on average, maybe like once every 10 days or 2 weeks, only because I do videos daily, and this will be the daily video, so I won't make it too much longer, but this will be the daily video, and if something else comes up, I'll put another video up, but I do them daily. So the streams come up when something I think is crazy going on in the market, and people are sort of like, I want to hear from you. So here we are. Thank you for joining. If it's your first times, guys, let us know. Is this your first time here? What do you like about the streams? What would you much rather about the streams? If you had 50K, but you have 40K credit card debt, pay off those 20% loans and invest 10K, or buy 50K in Bitcoin and roll the dice to get 4X. Well, you're going to have to weigh up if Bitcoin doesn't move for 2 years or 3 years, what is that credit card debt going to cost you? And maybe Bitcoin will go up further. But then will that credit card repayment start to kill you later? So it's not like a yes or no answer. You need to do the numbers on it. And then you need to have some sort of outlook and be honest, because if you're not, the market will rip you apart. Rip you apart. Thanks, Vincenzino. My obsession with shepherds. Hey, it's not me, it's the sheep. The sheep are looking for their shepherd. These comments are killing my brain cells. Come on, it's not all bad. Amazing watching over the last 3 months. Thank you, Louis. Live streams need to be more exciting. Flashing lights and sirens. I know, right? I need to have everyone going off. What do you think's happening next? Are we still going to see a crash here? You know, it's, Jason, don't is supported by Elon. Doesn't it mean anything? I don't know. People calling Jason a fudder, bots, NPCs. Do you think Bitcoin will go down to 28? Look, it has the potential at the moment. I don't know for sure, but my targets, like I put at the beginning of the video, were around, I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a 26, 27K Bitcoin based on particular other levels that we're looking at. I'll leave it at that. Which video do I explain the fear and greed index? That is a video that it's got it on the thumbnail. It's probably about 3 or so weeks ago, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, and it shows like the fear and greed on the thumbnail. Fear and greed 10, yeah, that's what we're looking at. Sure, why not? All 2,000 of you come. Speaking of that, I should do a get together. I've been thinking of that. George has given me a good idea on that one, so hats off to George getting his big community event going on later this year. But of course, I'm not doing it in the US. It's going to be here in Australia. But I want to have some good talks there. So I've got to think about it and put some stuff together. I'll obviously let everyone know if that happens. Cool, guys. That's been a fantastic stream. 2,000. I'm sure you guys have liked up the channel. The comments have been fantastic. I know you've liked. Look, go and check out the videos from yesterday, the previous days. All the plans are there. If you want to make some money from the markets, go and check videos out, mine someone else's that are going to set you up for the next stage. Because right now, when the market is quiet or when it's down, this is the time that you have, like unless you're shorting the market and trading it, but you've got time now to be researching and putting a plan together for the coming months, the next 6 months, the next 12 months, 3 years, whatever, right? You can't do that. Well, you can try and do it in a bull market, but it's crazy. It's just way too hard. And then when you have your plan, you're set now, the bull market becomes even more enjoyable. It doesn't become this whole emotional ride up, and a lot of people aren't liking it now because the emotional ride up has ended and now it's the emotional ride down. And so you just balance that out with a plan, and you're not, I don't know, you're just not getting screwed around by the market and whatever else is going on online. Heidi from Crypto Tips, send me love your work. Excellent. Heidi and Toby are great. Shirtless would be great too. No, I need to beef up a little bit more. I haven't been going to the gym as much. No, I'm good. Shrimp on the barbie. Tax harvesting worth doing. I would not be talking about that because I can't. Love your content. Sending love from Malaysia. Thank you, Malaysia. Are you happy you bought BTC at $1 a share back in the day? Plenty of space on your left to stack the piles of profits you made from the years. I know I should put something here, but the door opens there. So, I just keep it free. All right, guys. Speaking of shirtless, I should go and do some, get outside, see some fresh air. Thank you once again. You know what to do. The books, you guys are asking for books there. You're asking for plans on the channel. You're asking for cryptos. What am I doing? What do I like the look of? All the previous, say, like 10 videos looking at what I think about altcoins, Bitcoin, and the plan. Thank you once again, guys. I will have to get on the live streams again very soon. It's been very enjoyable. Appreciate your company and support through here. Remember, until next time, have more fun to get more done.